It's been Moto made, and now it has Moto made it to my doorstep. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And it's time to unbox and give my first impressions on the Moto 360 2nd Gen. And here we are with the Moto 360, the second generation, brand new and made in Moto Maker. They really waste no time showing you exactly the version that you got of the Moto 360, and in my case I got the brown leather band with the silver trim and bezel. I wanted to keep it pretty classic, and really the premium options in Moto Maker just didn't really do it for me. But without any further ado, we are going to get into the unboxing itself. A nice ring around here is where the adhesive is. And then, with the tape off, we can go ahead and open this thing up. And there it is, already feeling the metallic body and the bezel. It feels like a very premium device, even more so than the original 360 was, especially when you have these nubs on the bottom and the top. And as it says on the side of the box, they are going to be easily removable, the straps that is, so that you can change it if you so choose. But I like the brown leather, so probably gonna end up keeping that there. It looks like we actually have a sticker on the front there, so we'll actually be able to peel that off very ceremoniously, and also on the back there. Now, this really does look like a watch. It has the visage of one, let's put it, with the nubs on the top and bottom, making this a little bit easier to customize with different watch straps compared to the original Moto 360. And here is the charging dock, which has already been a great addition with the original Moto 360. Definitely a little bit more intuitive, where you can actually put the watch down onto it and allow it to be used as like a docked clock. That way you'll still be able to get the time from it even while it's charging on, let's say, your nightstand. Now, one peculiar thing about this charging cable is that it doesn't have the ability to remove the actual cord. It's built into the plug adapter. It's a little bit odd, but at least the charging dock still takes micro USB, so you should still be able to use any other chargers that you so wish. Getting the watch set up with my Samsung Galaxy Note 3 in particular really was a pretty standard affair. I do like the new splash logos and all of the splashes that are available in Android Wear, not only on the watch but also on the app on the phone. But really what took a while was syncing the applications from the phone to the watch itself. So that might be kind of normal, but it did take a little while, and I took a look around the watch while it was syncing. What we have here is a really nice Horween leather strap right here that feels already pretty comfortable. And of course on the back we have the heart rate sensor. As far as the screen goes, the display is 360 by 360, and I have the 46mm version of it. There is a smaller 42mm version of this that I was unfortunately not able to get, and it is better suited for those with smaller wrists. There's even a quote-unquote women's edition, but really the smaller one can be used by women, but the women designation is mostly for the different straps that are available for the smaller version of the watch. Underneath the surface is a Snapdragon 400 with half a gigabyte of RAM, and 4 gigabytes of storage are available underneath. Now, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi are both available on this particular watch, and we go ahead and have the watch put on right here. The leather feels really nice. It's still a very comfortable feel here, and with 46mm, it does take up pretty much all of the space on my wrist, but it really isn't uncomfortable at all. The other change on here, aside from a pretty shiny and pretty glossy finish here, is the button, which is now at an angle up here on the top. Now pressing that will activate everything. If you press it again, I do have the ambient display on, and this AMOLED display will be able to conserve battery while still showing the time. And of course, if I move my wrist, it will turn on as well. Going through the setup here, it's the pretty standard setup with all of the different cards, and you will be doing a lot of the inputs on here using cards, and also by using little button presses like this as you swipe among the various parts of the app. Apps and actions, press and hold the side button. So if you hold that, it goes to the menu where you can find all of the different applications, including Moto Body, integration with maps so you can see where you're going, and of course, OneNote, Play Music. I also have Pocket Cast. There's even Pomo To Do right here, which is a personal productivity app that I love to use that already is integrated on here, and I think that's really cool. Fetching data from the phone, and there is the Android Wear application. So automatically, any apps that are installed on your phone are going to be installed onto the watch. I'll go ahead and swipe away from here. Of course, you can do that with your palm. Let's go ahead and turn that on. That button feels really nice and meaty as well. It's got a really satisfying click to it as well. Changing the watch face is as simple as going into the app itself, as you can see here, or touching and holding on the watch face, of course. A lot of these things are pretty standard things that you would expect from Android Wear already. And I already have notifications coming in from mostly Facebook, as you can see here, and other applications that I've already installed onto the watch. And so there you have it for this unboxing and first impressions and initial setup for the Moto 360 second generation. Now, this year's crop of smartwatches seems to be really enjoyable actually, because not only are they looking even better, they're probably going to function even better with updates to Android Wear. And the Moto 360 is no exception. Even though I may not be the biggest fan of having to look at the watch all the time to swipe up and down and see what I'm looking for, it is actually more enjoyable on what looks like a very sleek and very almost executive looking watch. But of course, that is because of my doing on the Moto maker, getting this brown leather with the silver body and bezel. I think this watch looks fantastic, honestly, and those nugs on the bottom and on the top will allow for even better customization because it's easier to get into the body with your own personal wrist straps. Well, we're going to go through the next week or so just using the Moto 360 on the daily. I will see how this 400 milliamp hour battery holds up in daily usage, but of course you have that great charging dock where you can put the watch on its side and it will change into a different orientation so you can still use it as a nightstand clock of sorts. So keep it tuned to Android Authority for even more, and thank you very much for watching this initial setup of the Moto 360 second gen. I'll tell you right now, because of the way this thing looks, I'm really happy to have it on my wrist, at least for the time being, and we'll see if it will be in the future, because I will be comparing it to even more smartwatches that are coming out in the next few weeks, maybe a couple of months, and you can keep it tuned here for that and even more from my colleagues here at Android Authority. Head on over to androidauthority.com when you're done with all of that to listen to the podcast, talk about Android in our forums, and then stick around for even more written content because we are your source for all things Android.